takes all night, but before we do that, let's crash into that. We can do it right if it takes all night, but before we do that, let's crash into that. We can do it right if it takes all night, but before we do that, let's crash into that. We can do it right if it takes all night, but before we do that, let's crash into that. Let's crash into that. Let's crash into that. Let's crash into that.
Let's crash into that. Let's crash into that. Oh, 7. Let's go. Let's make it happen, Captain. Kimmy 65 is live. Say it one more time. Kimmy 65 is live. Let's go. Oh, 7. Friday night, y'all. I took on a couple of mining contracts, kind of. Trying to make a little quick UEC before the dress rehearsal of what 4.9 next week. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah, basically one patch split. 4.9, 4.10, I believe. And somewhere in the middle is Benoit Beausejour. Benoit Beausejour. Yeah, he's getting things scaled up. 4.10 September. Nice. Nice. I think it's just basically, Trent, a time and a space for them to kind of slip in the things that will build the foundation, because it bleeds right into this next conversation right here. Man, Sony, Microsoft, what a couple of years ago, they were buying every studio they could find out there, right? I mean, it was just them just engulfing, just absorbing. They were doing their best version of R Corp. if you know the lore of R Corp, basically they would what do you call it? Corporate takeover or absorb other corporations, and it would be under the umbrella of R Corp. That lore, that's a real life thing, and that's the lore that Chris Roberts has established. And CIG, David Haddock, the lore team, they established that hey, R Corp is about procuring other corporations and making it R Corp. That's the sum of R Corp is a lot of corporations. With that said, a couple of years ago, it was really happening between Sony and Microsoft, and the result, the most recent news to that is a lot of their studios have shuttered. Now, with the probably one of the exceptions is Bethesda. Bethesda is still continuing with what they need to do as far as creating games. I think a lot to do with Bethesda. They've been pretty productive with what they were doing with the recent Starfield, and most recently the hit that is Fallout. So I think knowing that TV series is pretty good. I mean, it's fun to watch, and knowing that they have that as leverage to bring in fans of the TV series, and you have a game potentially, and Bethesda, capitalizing off of that idea or that lore. Well, vice versa. Microsoft actually capitalizing off of Bethesda because it was the game first, and then it became a great fun to watch TV series, sci-fi TV series. Walter Goggins, man, is that the? How about you? What do you call it? How does he say it? What say you, Walter? I love it, dude, man. I really like, dude. He nails it. He's the ghoul. He's the ghoul in the game. Fun to watch. Fun series. So they're gonna keep that, man. That's one thing that's a potential moneymaker for them. With that said, wrapping it up, getting to my point, those were massive layoffs. Them shuttering the doors, shutting down. There's a lot of developers out of work, man. Between Sony and Microsoft, what are they going to do? Well, Cloud Imperium Games is hiring, and they're hiring for specific things. But here's the real case situation potentially is that if they have enough talent, I think CIG can make accommodations for sure. If they, knowing, that they need help, because going forward, we're just beginning to move in a direction that's going to expand the game. And literally, a few weeks ago, the Tech Talk was based upon Benoit saying, "Hey, I needed to get a hold on the scaling aspect of the game, because while we were working on things, lo and behold, you remember all those patches they were kicking out? Well, guess what? It kind of went outside the parameters of where they were building, and of course they said there were some bugs they had to discover. But with that said, they realized that they had to double down and really build up the foundation, because not only were the developers adding in a lot of patches and a lot of features, but also there's been a big resurgence of players who were kind of waiting to see if the game had some things that would some things of interest that would bring them back. And lo and behold, with the advent of the clipper, you know, crafting, and all of a sudden it's like, hey man, we have some elements of a game here that's going to at least pique my curiosity as to what's going on. And it did, and it brought people back. But let's add some other things. Defense Con became something of a thing too, because you know May was supposed to be Invictus, so we were like, okay, it's Invictus, and we're going to really change things up. Power 7.6, just keep mining. Just keep mining. Invictus just changed totally. It became Defense Con. And man, boy did it ever change Invictus. Because the Ironclad Assault, just in general, Drake as a manufacturer, they were really catching a lot of attention, right? They were bringing a lot of attention to ship owners. Like, whoa, wait a minute, this Ironclad Assault, this is pretty nice. I can rock with this. And they did. They totally went for it. I think the vehicle team has brought, you know, a lot of people back in regards to giving the ability for allowing players to move smaller ships around with a larger ship, or increase cargo capacity, as well as finding individuality within the manufacturer themselves, right? Think about the Miss Hull series. And when the Miss Hull B came out, it was kind of like, all right, copy paste, right? That was the assumption with the A and the C that was out. And with the advent of the B being delivered upon, when it arrived, prior to its arrival, we were saying, well, yeah, it's a simple copy and paste. Holy smokes, how wrong were we? The work they put in to make that feel like it was not a variant, and people realized, they said to themselves, wait a minute, I got to buy me the Miss Hull B. I did not see that coming. How many hours on Star Citizen? Oh, it depends. That's another thing too, Skit. When you talk about hours on Star Citizen, I do missions, man. I go all in, and sometimes it can be 6-8 hour plus if you want to really go in deep dive. But with the new advent of player instancing, you have a choice now. It's getting into, you're getting into now the aspects of instancing, where you and your buddies, friends, jump in an experience or a mission, and you're right there in the middle of it, and it's undisturbed. You can get things going, and then you can get out once you've achieved or failed or whatever the case. Once the mission is over, whatever the case or state is, success or failure, you're done. And it's like, okay, this is great for the backers who pledged a while ago, and basically they were in college or single, but now they're dads with kids. They're grown-ups with kids now, and they only have a few hours to do this or that. And now that's a welcoming feature for them, that they can get in for a few hours and they're done, which is pretty cool. I think it gives everyone a choice. Now, there's going to be pushback as far as, hey, that's not right. You're supposed to play this game to the hilt, but that's what Star Citizen is. Star Citizen is this huge, massive concept of this universal hodgepodge of uh, different aspects of gameplay in this galaxy or slash universe. But at its core essence, there's choice, and I think that's one of the things that will make Star Citizen very successful is that you have a choice. If you look at it, you frown upon it, that's fine. You can get in and do like Kimmy and get in there and just hash it out and play it down to the hilt. Fully invest yourself into the missions and play it out. Or you could be another backer who's got kids and the wife saying, well, all right, you've earned this one. You got this weekend. You got a few hours for this weekend. I'll take care of the kids. I'll hold it down for a bit. You got instancing. So yeah, player's choice. Yeah, Steam. I don't play Fortnite. Fortnite, I know about Fortnite, but yeah, you got no kids, bro. I don't actually count the hours. I think when it comes to hours, like you say it like, well, hours is a kind of measurement of the enjoyment. For me, it's about the adventure and doing things that's off script. And I think Star Citizen offers that to an extent. And I think it's going to be more and more enriched once they really get into like the base building aspect of the game. They're going to expand the footprint of Star Citizen. I think they've already started making markers for Nyx. So Nyx will be a full-fledged system very soon. And it's probably the next couple of patches we're going to see new aspects of Nyx. Along with that, another planet, a toxic planet with no atmosphere, a gas giant, I believe, and new creatures, new everything. A lot of things to get into. So what they're doing is expanding upon its footprint, figuratively, literally. And I think it's going to bring back a lot of people. They're going to be very curious about the Genesis tech that's coming. That's going to be epic. I think I'm ready for that, bugs and all. But yeah, back to the whole point of it. With Microsoft and Sony making these major changes and laying off these huge amounts of talented people, it allows CIG to actually look and see and look at the talent pool, and along with Chris, Benoit, and Aaron, all the project managers and leads there at CIG, they can look at the talent pool and say, wait a minute, I think we really need these individuals and bring them in. And that's going to, it's even going to make that kind of a production process and it opens up a lot of possibilities for them to make the game that even better, because you're gonna see the talent pool that's gonna be out there. They want to be hired. They want that talent pool they want to bring them in and really get things going, especially with Benoit knowing what he needs and actually doing the interview with potential talent that's going to really help the game to be a much more better piece going forward as far as what we do in the game, bringing in stability, adding in new ideas, innovations, you name it. That potential is there. Yeah, well, if you like really big planets, then this is the game for you. Um, it truly is. I don't work with Microsoft. I don't think anyone. I don't think Bill Gates can get you a job at Microsoft right now at this point. Not even Bill Gates. Facts. Facts. Not even Bill Gates can get you hired at Microsoft. So out of the question for sure. But I think you know, as I said, with Sony and Microsoft shuttering and shutting down and laying off and whatever, there's not a lot of gaming studios that are out there. And as you look around on landscape, you look at the landscape of things, Cloud Imperium Games is getting strong as stronger than ever. You know? Oh shit. Oh, they're getting strong as they're stronger than ever. But they really got to be able to seal the deal because one of the issues is literally the issue was their success and not being ready for that influx of more players getting into the game. I think it went up. What Benoit said, it was like 50 to 67% increase of a continuity of players just jumping in and wanting to see what's going on and wanting to play the game. So, yeah, hence why we're getting 4.9, 4.10. They split the patch. And it's going to free up the devs to really bug chase and get things operating in a way that when you do get into the game with the new patches, they're definitely focused on making your gameplay experience best as possible, and that's what they're hoping for. But it's not just hope, but it's really applying themselves, and they're looking to do that. And with this potential of hiring people from Sony, Microsoft, other studios as well, that potential to do that has increased exponentially. It's a strong possibility they're going to find some really good talent out there. And knowing what that means, if they haven't been living under a rock, you have stability with CIG, longevity in what you're doing. This has been a development since um, since since its inception, 2012, and the reality of it is a lot of us don't know game development, but games take quite a while to develop. And unlike a lot of other games, this is probably the only game that is developing and also they're customer facing at the same time. And that's a hard act to pull off. Very difficult. There's always a flow and ebb of satisfaction, dissatisfaction, enthusiasm. It's but one constant. I think whether people are totally or totally enthused with the new changes or just uh, fiery negative against like the new development that causes bugs. But the one constant is the passion. Whether you are elated with the new changes or you're just uh, borderline like ready to kick doors down, it's literally the passion for the game, and that's a constant. And I think it hurts CIG even more when it's not going right. But it's due to the fact that it is in development and these changes have to happen. These growing pains have to happen. And they've shown, if you go and look on their website, you go to the roadmap, you look at their website, and you go to and look at the roadmap, you see the progression from 3.0 or earlier all the way up to now that it's been a progression. But I think what I'm really excited for is there's going to be we're getting closer to an imminent release of Squadron 42, and once that is released, can you play with me? Do you own the game or the the players? I gotta see where's this Dolavine I'm looking for. Um, One sec. Let's see. Oh, right ahead. Straight ahead.
Launch sequence
There we go. Um,
landing
yeah,
successful.
it's a lot going on with CIG and where they're trying to get to, as far as getting the key elements to make this a true MMO. I think they made a statement with the what is it, the crafting aspect. I think the next big ticket item that, as far as creating a true MMO, will be base building, and I think that's something that it's going to be interesting once they're ready to release that. But I think the planetary tech has to come first. Maelstrom system may be a part of that. So it's as they get closer to 1.0, these patches are going to be so important because they interact with so much, and it's the foundation to the success for Star Citizen, or the game. But yeah, like I said, once the release of Squadron 42 is done, that same team who was dedicating themselves strictly and totally into finishing Squadron 42, that team is coming back to this side of the game, which is the persistent universe. I can only imagine the floodgates coming over from that team producing and completing Squadron 42 to coming over here and uh, going totally ham on getting 1.0 out the door, but beyond. I'm excited for things beyond 1.0, but right now, I would say just hold on, continue to be observant of what's going on, cognizant of what has to take place. And again, it's not, uh, I would not expect it to be all cookies and cream from here on out because of what these patches will mean for determining what is the basis of the game and how they interact. There's going to be a lot of interaction between features once we get this game closer to 1.0. Base building, being able to interact with the environment, manipulate the environment, um, alter it, and then establish a persistent placeholder, which will be your base. So I would say be like more like me and just, you know, observe it, look to understand it, know that it's complex, but at the same time, if there's something that's not broken, of course, go ahead and report it. Uh, and it's up, and from that point, it's up to CIG to make sure that they get after it and get it into a working state. But with that said, just understand and know that, you know, the owner of the game, the CEO, he's going to have priorities. He's going to make those hard decisions on what should come first, what should be priority. And sometimes it may seem like they don't answer the call on some of the nagging things that may be a detriment to the game. With that said, if you've gotten to the point where your particular game experience, you've hit a ceiling, I mean, you've expressed yourself and said, "Hey, look, this isn't working. I've reported it. It's gone into months." Then you either find something else to do within the game. If not, then I mean, you just gotta be got to be patient and let them work it out. But at the same time, I wouldn't beat. I wouldn't. The analogy I would use is, I wouldn't put on a football helmet and try to run through a brick wall with my head, and it stops me, and then I get back up and I try to do it again. That's the analogy I would use. Is like, no, don't force it. Just when they're ready to do it, you come back to play. But I think right now it's about the quality aspect, but it's also about getting those features into the game. And I said this earlier, a few days ago. CIG really need to leverage the tech preview channel as a means and a way to kind of get a good metric if certain features that are intended to be put into the game prior to 1.0 or that's essential to 1.0, you want to see how those things work together sooner than later, as opposed to, you know, as a slow drip, add them in and then figure it out, then add something else, slow drip. What they are realizing is that as they do this, time is still moving on, right? Things are still moving in time, and time is of the essence when it's relating to getting this game to a state where everyone has a 100% consensus that and in agreement saying that this is truly an MMO. And then from there, it's just about you have to refine the gaming experience once you have all these features in. I mean, that's the process in itself as a whole. You have to get all said features in, and you got to ensure, well, Benoit has to ensure that along with CIG, it's not just on him, but I'm just saying he's kind of like the architect to say, as things get filtered into the game, he pretty much says, hey, this works, or let's take a closer look as to what you've put into the game as a feature, because it's not in sync with the architecture or the foundation that's already existing. Let's talk about it. Let's figure out if there's any modifications that we can use or incorporate so that we get that experience fixed, spot on, or very similar. We pivot slightly so that it's workable and it has to be acceptable by the community. And so in the meantime, we just have to let it play out. We have to let it play out. But at the end of the day, we get all these elements in that will make it a really good experience. That they'll make it a great experience. It'll be worth it, because I can definitely see myself, along with a lot of other people, saying it's not just the video game. It's just it's basically a destination, and it's a place where, you know, things happen and they occur and they're not scripted. There's not a lot of games out there. I think that's the allure of MMO games, is that, and I totally get it. There's unscripted things that happen because you're incorporating the human element. And when you also bring in elements like literally a virtual galaxy or universe, that's amazing, where you have exploration as part of the gameplay aspect in Star Citizen. Literally, you are an explorer, you're an adventurer, and then you incorporate other players and random things happen. That's a challenge in itself. Challenge accepted. Oh, depends on what's in the fridge there, Bao. I mean, you're hungry, but you're talking about a fridge. What's in the fridge? That's the question. It comes down to that. Or if you don't have time for all that, I ain't got time for all that, then you got to look at what's near you, whether it's a grocery store or, you know, where's your go-to restaurant, right? It's Friday night. It's late. I mean, just get something quick, something easy, and it's kind of late. You want to, I don't know, depending on where you are. It could be late or it could be early. It all depends. Are you a breakfast person? Who knows? Just think about it. I'll tell you this. Look in the fridge, and if something sparks some dopamine in your brain, go for it. That's what you should eat. How about that? Does that answer that? Of course it does. Now, if you just have pickles and milk in your fridge, man, ma'am, ma'am, or man, hey, look, it's time to hit the grocery store or something. But it's getting late. You might even want to skip and just wake up hungry and get breakfast the next day. Even better. But at the end of the day, the choice is yours. What say you, Walter? Walter Goggins. What say you, Walter? I'm kind of full with my inventory. I meant to drop it off in here. Let me do that. And my ship. But who doesn't love pizza, man? I'm telling you, who doesn't love pizza? You got a slice in the fridge, heat it up right now. Huh? Can't go wrong. You can't go wrong. It might sound like the same old song, but cheese and sauce and crust and toppings. Oh yeah. Those hunger pains are dropping. Yes. Pizza. It's what's for dinner. I'm hungry now. That's my stomach talking. You know you want a slice, or two, or three, or four. Have the pizza delivery man knock on the door. Yes. Can't go wrong with a slice. Three or four will suffice. All right, I'm dropping rocks. Like I'm dropping knowledge. All right. So, let's make it happen, Captain. Yeah, I think I think there's a consensus that we are engaging a lot more with Star Citizen. There's a lot of things coming down the pipeline, especially towards the end of this year. Each patch brings more curiosity. Each ISC, what is that? What is it? Inside Star Citizen. Yeah, Inside Star Citizen Live. It just brings that much more curiosity as to what they're, what they're talking about, what they're cooking up, what they're up to. So I'm all eyes and ears. There's a lot of speculation, and it's a little on the negative side. I think that's all predicated on uncertainty, but I think they have the resources and the knowledge to actually get a good rein on what's going on. They know what they need to do, but also I'm very optimistic about the new talent pool that's out there. Who they can hire to really add some more spark to the development track. But again, I think we're going to see some substantial feature updates as we get closer to the end of the year. Ships, they're at an all-time high as far as really getting our interest peaked back up again with, now we're in the age of as far as ship development and what they've been developing and handing out to the community. is the ability to have carrier type craft or ships that carry smaller ships, and that opens up another layer of possibilities. And I think I think what is it? The Anvil Liberator is coming now that we see what the possibilities are with the Ironclad and the Assault, the little pocket carrier style uh, gameplay is coming to the forefront. Now you're seeing the possibilities of what the Anvil Liberator will do. It's same concept, but it's all about the branding, right? It's all about the ship that you admonish as the go-to, right? That's my goat. That is the Anvil is like the quintessential ship that I want to showcase in how I play the game. That's among a number of backers, right? Um, that they wouldn't be caught dead in a Drake ship for whatever the reason. You have players who are very strict on the type of ships they roll with, and so when you have similar gameplay elements like the transport style of gameplay, and now your favorite brand is now going to offer that. You can't wait. You're chomping at the bit for that kind of ship to come out so you can showcase and really get into the swing of the game. I think that's a fun element. That's a very fun element. I can't wait to see the Liberator. At some point, we're going to probably see it pretty soon, fairly soon. But another one, again, it's Drake. And of course, with Invictus, you know, coming and it came and went and it was very successful. It came in May. I would suspect next May will be the introduction of, again, Defense Con, but this time the Kraken and potentially the Privateer will showcase and head that event again, Defense Con, for the people. Their new motto, the bad reputation that they had to early on they had to deal with is, oh, they sell to pirates. No, pirates just chose to buy from them, right? Because it was a no frills ship. You don't want to be a pirate and buy an origin luxury ship. You don't want to do your dirt in a luxury ship. You want to get a bottom line no frills ship. You don't need an ejection seat. You're just there to pillage. Ascendant 0707, sir. Good day. Good day. Oh, Ascendant. I was thinking about you. The Purple is in Australia now. Hello. Did you hear that? Did you realize that they're opening a branch in Australia? Yeah. Yeah. When I heard that, I'm like, oh man, this may be good news for Ascendant. Let me share that link. I'm gonna share that link because a few days I got to shout out Purple because hello, their customer service is second to none. I mean, the quality of their product, top notch, top freaking notch. But I must say, even better, their customer service. I think I nicked, not I think, I knew, I nicked one of the cables. And so one of my sticks was inoperable. So I said, well, I'm not going to have one stick and play the game. So I'm like, okay, I need both. So I waited. But what they did as a courtesy, they fast tracked it to me and said, just, hey, we want to get this to you as soon as possible, Kimmy. Here you go. And I said, hey, I'm gonna shout out to you all because I use it for Star Citizen, but I gotta give you all a shout out whenever I stream. I don't we don't you don't really we don't support each other officially or anything like that, but I want to give your due diligence of, hey, look, you did a wonderful thing here, and I want everyone to know, and if it could kind of help with making a choice of like what sticks do I get. Yes, yes, you did. There you go. I send it. There's the link right there just for you. Good eye. But yeah, shout out to Virtual. Awesome, 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 awesome. And I'd say you cannot go wrong. They're also entering the entry levels for joysticks as well, which does not mean it's lower in quality. Not at all. It's the opposite. High quality. Oh 07 to Virpal. Thank you so much. All right. Scoop it on up. Getting stuff done out in this verse. And this is one of the things that never get old. Look at that sun. Look at that sun out there. Wow. Never gets old. But it's going to get better because Genesis is coming. This year. Probably within the next 2 patches. That's going to be fun. Exploring around. All right. Let's look for some more rocks. But yeah, the light stayed on. It was like it was totally ready, and I just went ahead and hooked up all the gear and set my bindings. I sent it, and I was, as you can see, good to go. Purple has spoiled me on flying ships. I am not a keyboard and mouse pilot. Not at all. Oh, I don't want to get prosecuted here. Okay, leaving private property. Okay, let me check my scanning capabilities. It's not working, and I see my power input. There it is. I knew it. I felt it. Now I can scan. There we go. Oh, 07. The iron ore. But yeah, I think before we get into base building, I think they're going to push more on the side of crafting now that we have crafting. I would suspect that we'll be crafting ship components to some degree. I think that would be the next step. And then I think they could go a number of ways. They literally could also introduce organic crafting, compounds, medicines, pharmaceuticals, contraband. It could go either way. And what I would say in regards to alchemy, chemistry, pharmaceuticals, apothecary, whatever you want to call it, it's a way and a means you can tick off another box or check box, kind of like what John Cruz said about the command module with the ironclad, with that command module tech. That's one aspect of the endeavor. Now, with pharmaceuticals and being able to create medicinal organics, as well as probably cell regeneration to reconstitute or use surgery to create a new arm for a person who maybe is temporarily using a cybernetic arm, they can get a culture or sample taken from your DNA and actually cultivate or recreate an actual arm and perform the surgery as a service. So, I mean, it's so many things you can do with the Endeavor. I mean, it's probably more than likely it's going to be the one of the last ships as far as space traversal is concerned. Um, Questioning is with the Endeavor, the hull, the main hull, will that be able to? I think what they have to decide, or I don't know if they've determined this, but will it be similar to the large mining ship? Is it? Will it have to stay in space? Will it be similar to that ship? What's the name of that ship, man? I am, dude. I can just call it off. Like, holy smokes, man. Now I have to use Star Wiki. Starting to become my best friend now. Orion. I didn't have to look it up. The Orion. Yes, there we go. I still got it, baby. Still got it. Let's make it happen, Captain. Okay, Aphorite. I need some Aphorite in my life. Oh, wait a minute. This isn't hand mining. That's why it's not registering. No, this is for like the Atlas. That's for like the Atlas. Too big. Back on ship. And it's sunny outside. Nice out. Nice day. But yeah, there's some more ships. I think there's gonna be the Shiv. Not the Shiv. Is it Gray's Market? What is that ship? I think something like that. Gray's. They've come up with another concoction, so I can only wonder what that is. Probably it's coming for Nyx. I think maybe I don't know, or maybe the next couple of patches something's gonna happen with bringing another ship. But I think with Gray's Market, there's a lot of potential. Oh, I wonder if I can pop this rock. With this, let's see something. Let's try this. Matter of fact, let me. I gotta invert my controls here. Let me see which one is it. My mining lever is inverted. It's kind of doing the opposite. So what I would do is go to the control systems. I would look at mining. Let's see, and I would have to identify that's input 2. Right, increase, decrease mining layers, that's input 2. So relating to controls, I would have to go to controls individually and then select HOTAS 2, which is control 2. Now, the criteria that I'm looking for is inversions. I want to invert what? Mining, aspects of mining. Mining, throttle, it says it is inverted, right? So I guess no. think that should do it. Okay, so we'll go back to key bindings, HOTAS, advance, and I'm gonna have to overwrite or save, right? Save control system. I keep it simple. 6 DOF, Star Citizen. And let's try that out. So if I press forward with the lever, it increases. I pull back towards me, it decreases. And voila, that's it. I wanted to be able to use a little, smallest amount of power. Heat that rock up, see if I can do it with the ship and procure that aphorite, right? Right? Let's make it happen, Captain. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, baby, look at that. Low tech, baby. Using a little low tech there. Heat it up, wait for it, back up, back the hell up. Like it's still, well, it's cooled down, I believe. Oh shit. Did something blow up? There it is. Wow, even my shield, the explosion was so intense that my shield felt it. Let me touch down. I have to make sure the rock explodes first. I don't want to walk up on that thing and that's a fatality potentially. Yep. Yeah, look at that control. Courtesy of Virpil. Ship control is sweet. All right, here we go. Let me see if I can scoop up those pieces of aphorite. DIYing on the mining. It's supposed to use like a vehicle, but I'm DIYing the process a little bit there. Look at that. Okay, let's see, what do we have here? All right. It's about that bottom line, baby. Yes. Sweet. Low level. Don't need a stinking vehicle, mining vehicle to get these rocks, baby. All right. In this aspect of the gameplay, I'm building up reps so then I can have a blueprint that will allow me to recreate something. I don't know what it is, but something. All right, let me see if I can procure these other rocks. It's probably worth it. I just have to make sure I have distance and not damage my ship too badly here, but it's worth it. Check off some of these on the list. But I hope everybody's having a good weekend or the beginning of. AC3 Nightmare '07. I am breaking those rocks, baby. '07. Hope the grandkid is keeping you busy, Ascendant. I know he I know he is. Haven't talked since then. How is he doing? Hope all is well.
Fracturing mode on.
It's like you're that dad all over again, man. Get to do it again. It's awesome. Spoil them up and then send them home to the parents. Oh, oh yeah, it's. If I can get it to break. You can hear it from here. Ender, I do not have a mole, man. I do not. I am not a fan of the mole, man. Please don't say that. I have a loner mole. Even if it's a loner, I still don't have. I don't have that shit, man. Speaking of which, '07 Bender, happy Friday to you. Did they was there any work done on the I know you've been singing the praises of the recent updates with the
Warning. Power critical.
prospector Bender. Did they do any changes or updates to the mole that you may know of? Yeah, it flies great like it's supposed to, but I don't know, man. It's not my ship. It's not my. It just is not me, man. And it's okay though. It's just not me. The mole is not me. I literally, it's the placeholder for the Arastra. Now that, oh, we can go all day with that. I can't wait. And we may get that next year. It might get on the list. Now that, I'm still keeping my. With that said, I'm still keeping my prospector. Oh, make them faster. Yeah, yeah, to get that blueprint and keep moving with the process. Yeah. Bender, what about? I want to get the. The I've seen a player walk around with a green. The tractor beam rifle. Oh man, I gotta have that. I'm gonna look it up to see how. What do you have to do to get that? Oh, we got a sound bug too. Oh gosh. It's the mining laser sound bug. Let me see if there's any rocks I can scoop up, and then I'm gonna do an Alt F4 to reset that sound. It's annoying as hell. Oh, it's probably a bought item. Ah, so I missed out on that. I don't think it's in the store. I would freaking buy it. It's that brand color, man. I gotta have that brand color. Purple and green, baby. Purple and green. Should be in game. Yeah, but it's like it don't carry through the pack. Now, if I want it as a blueprint, that's what I'm saying. I don't want to just have it for a couple of patches and then it's gone. Now, granted, once we get to a point where they'll say 1.0 or whatever that is, or beyond, there'll be no more wipes, and I'm good with that. But right now, there's going to be a continued update that incorporates wipes. He's trying to walk. Oh my gosh, that means he'll be running soon. I said it. You better keep up. Yeah, it was green. That's what I was telling you. Yeah, it was green, man. My eyes did not deceive me. And someone told me that too. There was a special one. I think it was in that one of those packages. I said, oh, I missed out. Oh, I missed out. I'm gonna scoop up as many of these rocks as I can, and then I'm going to Alt F4 to kill that sound bug because I know it's a. Let me matter of fact, let me turn the game down a little bit. Sorry about that. Yeah, eventually they did. Truth be told, they did talk about that with uh, Torsten did say further iterations of crafting will be able to do colors. So that, yeah, eventually, you're right. Well, no worries about that. But it would be nice to have it now. But yeah, he did say, oh shit, he said that we are gonna be able to craft and then do brand colors with our products. So that's another feature they're gonna incorporate or add. But yeah, I'm thinking what's the next stages for crafting? I'm thinking probably armor. I don't think we have armor and armor repair. I think that's the next step to crafting in itself. The items that we have as blueprints. The next step is once you've created them, then it's like maintenance involved, and that would be building it up, keeping it, uh, fixing the repair state of it. Especially our go-to stuff, our daily wear, you know. And then I think once that passes the litmus test, then they're going to move on to ships. The specifically the components involved with the ships, and then I think with that said, I think Benoit mentioned with the tech talk that there's going to be, well, we already know that further iteration to the hangar bay system. So incorporating more aspects of MMO into our, it's kind of like a quasi version of, you know, people build houses and they have a workshop. Same principle, same concept, but you're working on your ship. You can really roll your sleeves up and get into the nitty gritty of kind of what. Oh, you know what though? I'm wondering if Gray's Market is kind of like the prerequisite to having a workshop where there's an amalgamation of using components and making a hodgepodge of things. Eventually, once you get into not just base building but crafting your own ship, I think Gray's Market is kind of like the prerequisite for that. Now that we have a working and functional aspect of it, they're clever, man. You got to watch some of the things they're doing behind the scenes, and I think it sets it up for crafting ships and building your and making your own ships. Now, granted, they're not gonna. I don't think they're going to be superior to the manufacturer's brand. I mean, I don't. I wouldn't agree with that. It wouldn't make sense. But to be able to craft your own ship and you cross chassis like components and things, which we kind of do now, but uh, yeah, to have that part of the crafting aspect, and then you do that, add those customizations to your ship itself. But I think it should be a lot of procuring like the elements. It what it is right now, it should be 10 times that for ships. Uh, Finding the elements that will get you those parts. It's the grind. It's all about the grind. That's the MMO. You want it, you got to work for it, or you can trade fairly for it. And there, we're talking further elements to the MMO gameplay elements. That's going to get Star Citizen over the hump, and it'll be a consensus of, hey, this is an MMO. We got all the elements. Oh, it stopped. No, it didn't. It was just, oh, that broke. There's no metering into like if I'm using enough or too much energy. It's kind of like I'm spitballing it. Actually, I can put shields forward. Check my controls. I don't see anything adjusting. Wow. Let me go ahead and touch down and grab the rest of this. Beautiful day today. Beautiful day. Feel that sound, that annoying sound. Door wants to murder me, man. What the heck? Two more there. It's about that bottom line, baby. Hmm. That's part of the mission too. What? Okay, let me see. Oh man. This mission pays out 100K, so it's just a big. This is the big boys mission right here. Um. Hell, I'm gonna grab those. I need them. Let's make it happen, Captain. Whoa, 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 whoa. The engine's acting up. No, 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 no. What the hell? Dude. The components, let me see. They're kind of like, hold on. Let me make some adjustments. Now I have to check my component power output each time now when hold on. Or is that VTOLs? Something funky. is going on with the controls. I'm gonna land and think. Hope I'm thinking it's probably the power output to my engines. Hold on. Okay, let's look at it. The ports unlocked. Okay, let's look at this here. Look, engines. There we go. Dedicated to. There we go. Yeah, so it's telling me now they want me to each time that I go back, the power outputs are going to kind of fluctuate and do some things once I leave the seat of the ship. I gotta do a systems check each time. Now that could be a bug. Wow. Shields were affected from that distance from that small rock. Okay, they both pop. All right, let's get it. It's about that bottom line, baby. Now I just have to remember I'm leaving the ship. I have to check power allocation. Yikes. Here we go. And then once I procure, okay, I gotta move away from the door, come back. I better hydrate. I'm at less than 25%. Hydrate it. Oh man. Okay, let me drop these off from the ship because backpack might be full. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and disperse. 86%, that's all. I'm gonna light my loot. Now I'm thinking about I should have had a crate and keep them all in the crate and then just drop it on the hangar bay. I could probably do that. Grab a crate and put it on inside the ship, and then just fill it up. Yeah, I'll probably have to do that. This is a lot of rocks, man. Adrian, a lot of rocks. Oh, that quality threshold, it's at 717. I aspire to get the high quality at 750. Gonna do it. Gotta do it. Yeah. Let's do this. Oh my God. Purple and green rocks. Imagine that. All right. The back of the ship. Matter of fact, let me hydrate first. Two of the Luxus should get me to 100%, just about. All right. That was that was refreshing. Should get me there. All right. Works. All right. All right. Go. All right. It's about that bottom line, baby. I would agree. When it comes to the UEC, United Earth Credits, gotta have it. All right, so now to get rid of that pesky audio bug, get into the ship. I am seated. I'm gonna Alt F4, and I am going to launch the game again. I did play the Siege of Orison. Um, had some issues. I think it was a waiting. It's almost like it was a waiting room type of deal. The elevators was like the initial staging area, and then once you go up in the elevators, then you go to a room where there's a blue shielded door that will have a display saying "standby." And so I think it was just a matter of making the instancing more seamless, and I think that was where they were making adjustments. But eventually, it allowed me in. Um, and initially, it was just basically when you entered, you would it would take you. It was a shuttle that take you there, and then you see all the devastation. But now it's basically it was set up as a placeholder. There was a lot of NPCs basically camped, and the initial thing that was new was the audio, the dialogue, and they pretty much were like, "Oh, this is who Orison Security has sent to to kind of take care of us or alleviate the problem, or they sent you. Of all people, they sent you. And it was like they were monitoring you, or saw you arrive, knew that you arrived some way somehow, and they were talking directly to you, the boss, whoever that was, and uh, there was an instance where you would think that one of the NPCs were actually powering or trying to huddle for safety, but no, that actual NPC had a gun. It was like it was just randomly. I went to peer behind the barricade that he was around, and he was crouched. He had a gun in his hand, so I took him out. But it was no real. I think it was just a placeholder to see. See, I did it again. I didn't check my power output, but I think I'm good. Um, I see the engines are 100%. Um, it was more a placeholder, dress rehearsal, setting, making sure things were in place. And I didn't have enough of the. I should have equipped myself, but I just wanted to get in real quick because I had so much time to play it. I didn't have the medical gun or I had a limited number of medical syringes, and so they were, like I said, they were already waiting for me, and they were barricaded. But they kind of, some of them just eyeballed me, and so it was no real uh, adherence to, hey, I see you, I'm aware you're there, and I'm firing upon you. They were kind of like looking. They had the drop on me a few times in the crossfire, and but I think it was just them, CIG, just getting things in place, and then from there, I think as we get further into the testing aspect, you're going to see them dial it up, and I think it wasn't an immediate difference as far as it being an update. I think it was just like I said. I just initially was able to get to the staging area. They dropped me eventually. I couldn't resuscitate, so I was a goner. But I think it's just they're at the same time they don't want to give all of it away, even with the testing. They want to kind of like, okay, things are in place. We see what's going on our end. We got the metrics. Now we're gonna eventually the next couple of patches or so we're gonna dial it in. So then you're gonna get more so of the real experience. But it's gonna get there, and I think it's not so much. It's about the mission. In my opinion, it's not so much about uh, the mission giver of Siege of Orison. It's about, yeah, for sure. It's about making uh, that experience improve, right? Improving it through the usage of instancing. But I fully suspect that it's about the prerequisite prior to moving towards server meshing. And I think once they have a handle on that, then they're ready to initiate and get on with the business of making server meshing a foundational piece that will help us with concurrency, scaling, uh, keeping desync at its all-time low, uh, but also a high server FPS. That's what they want, and also a frugal way of manipulating the server spin up, spin down concept, and allowing the concurrency over time. In other words, you can put in hours in the game and it still feels as though you're on fresh servers. That's when you know it's successful. And I think that's where all possibilities as far as making the game what we dreamed of a reality, even better, right? I think that piece of the tech will be a part of the puzzle. I can't say that it will be the full solution, but it will be definitely a part of the puzzle. And the fact that we are getting instancing now, I'm ready. I'm elated because it's going to be a prerequisite going for it for eventually quasi dynamic meshing, eventually full on server dynamic server meshing. So I'm ready. But it's just improvement. That's all. That's basically what it is. It's about improvements and you know watching the development and learning from it. If you had dreams of being a developer, this is definitely a class on it as far as seeing it on a scale and level that it's not the conventional way of doing it. I think it's probably one of the more complex aspects of it, but I think it's just more of what I think what from the community side of it, what we observe is I think there's room and space because there are the way they're organized. I think there's always room for improvement as far as how can they um, mesh each department as more of a working machine that's streamlined machine in a way. They're big, but they operate in a streamlined way. A lot of, I think it's going to take a lot of communication first and foremost, and they're probably already doing that. But I think when things go awry, in which it will always, because you're still adding, as I said earlier, you're adding really big pieces of what the foundation will become in this game. And by no means will that be easy because it's going to touch so many things all at once. And they have to play nice. These features got to play nice with each other. And to be able to be a maestro, and it's like basically going to a concert and Benoit is, well, I say Benoit. It's a multi-headed it's a multi-headed entity. It's Chris, Aaron, Richard, John. I mean, it's a multi-headed entity. Benoit. Now recently, what was his name? I wanted to say his name. Oh my God, Benz, not Benz. It's oh my God, I gotta. And I think it was the first time I saw him, and he's working directly with Benoit. Oh man, I just had his name, and it was like, okay, I'm gonna look it up. Jens. I think it's Jens. Is it Jens? I'm gonna look at the script. I would say wow, it Jens Lind. I think his name is Jens. It might sound pronounced as Jens. Let's see if I can
Beginning of
bring it.
last year, we started,
What's supposed to be a routine
But it's spelled
update
Jens.
became a
Jens
massive,
Lind.
wide sprawling issue
But
because
but I see his title. He's gameplay engineering director. Holy smokes! And he comes off like, hey, smiles and no big deal. But yeah, engineering director. That's pretty cool. It seems that he carries it well in front of the camera, right? Let me see if let me see if
so I had this plan.
Jared
not
calls
gonna-
his name, but no, he just went
I
into
had
it.
this plan, I had this idea of what this show was going to be and whatnot. You and I, we've been doing this every quarter for the last, since the big change, the beginning of last year. We started, the February of 2025 and stuff like this. We've still got that show, and we're still going to do a bunch of that show. But we just put 481, 481, 481, 482.
I want to hear how
We
his
just put
name is
482
pronounced. I thought it
out
was
yesterday.
Jens. I still
I've got you.
say
We're
it's
live.
Jens.
yeah.
What happened?
Well, it started with an attempt at a bug fix a month ago. So with this 4.8 release and the way we've been doing patches this year, we have 2 streams when we work off from the working set. We have a base stream that we use for the base release, so 4.0, and we have a hotfix stream where we bring all the continuous changes along. So there was an attempt at bug fixing something on the Idris that was actually creating some performance issue somewhere else that was checked into that stream and nobody saw it, and it went through. So we've been on the hotfix stream now for 4.8.1, now going to 4.8.2. In 4.8.2 we went back to the base stream, which are supposed to be at parity at this point, except additional content, because we've added additional content in the patch. That change was.
I think the hotfix approach is good. I think it's just they need more tools for tracking some things. But I think that's a good approach, the hotfix. But I think they can make it potentially more robust, meaning put more features in on the hotfix, right? Or it catches things on the back end that might have needed to go in, or updates, right? So leveraging the hotfix is very valuable. And sometimes a lull can happen in the process, right? Because things are actually going great, right? When things are going great, there's a natural lull that happens, and so I perceive it as such. But it's also a good thing can come out of that. When you have adversity that happens, good things can come from that. And that means, with that said, with what they've discovered and they're doing the digging, it eliminates all other, potentially a lot of other things that was not the case. It was like check, 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 check. Good job, department. Good job. It's this. But now let's go ahead and create parameters and create tools so that we can even harden and ensure that the stability is a little more solid, which in turn, going long term, it lessens that sort of unforeseen event that could be game breaking potentially. But what it does, as far as turning things around and problem solving, it also, the beneficiary of that whole thing is the Star Engine itself. So it's a good thing. It's not an absolute. It's always these changing and moving pieces that we have to observe and say, hey, the state is the state of where it is now. I understand. It's a little rough, but it's not the absolute outcome or the state of the game. It's not an absolute state. It's always a flow and ebb of changes. But what's to come, there's this opportunity to always make it better. And a testament to what I'm saying is, go look at the roadmap. You see the progression from 2 point something. Matter of fact, let me look. I don't need to be fact checked. I can look at it. I can actually look at it and go to the roadmap. Go to Explore tab, roadmap, and check on the far left release view. And all categories. Oh, look at all these patches. Let me Okay, I just grabbed the whole tab and then slide it. Okay, let me. I'm um I'm collapsing. Oh man. They don't even show it. They show 3.1 as far as a roadmap. That's as far as it. So I would say from 3.1, March 31st, 2018. Hell, I'm not even going to count the number of patches. I'm not going to do that. All the way up to 4.9. 2, 3, 4, 3.2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, and then 4.0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, which is our current 8.3, and then 4.9, which is next week, and then third quarter is 4.0. A lot of patches. That's a constant. That is definitely a constant of the flow and ebb of what I'm talking about. But I think there's something different, and we all can sense that about these patches. Hence why we are really looking at. There's a lot of optics, a lot of looks towards these patches as we move forward. It's something that's unlike probably like when 3.0 dropped, where we were first able to walk outside at, Port Olisar, right? And then you saw the planets, and then the Pyro, the release of Pyro. This is somewhat akin to that, but I think potentially this is a bigger deal. Um, the finishing of Nyx, and then we have, once Nyx is out there and complete, you have two more systems, Castra, Era, and it doesn't stop there. It's going to progress even further. But in the middle of that, you have things that will improve how planets will be delivered to your gaming experience. You have architecture that will uh, be curated so that when it's released, it's built into the engine now. It's incorporating it into the actual Star engine, the Genesis system, the planetary tech that will allow traversal with the vehicle, better performance altogether, better visuals, better interactions. They're gonna compile that with Maelstrom, destructible structures, for literally destruction, sheer destruction, or destruction for construction, which is base building. Uh, these different aspects, such as that, where I think the dynamic will I think it would be revolutionary in the regards of how we've been playing the game. In the sense of, imagine you're not spawning from a station anymore. The only time you're going to go to a station are for maybe potentially trading. Maybe those those space station areas, or like the R Corps and Lorvilles, may become your bazaars. You're actually more civilized, like, okay, I'll say the word, two words, shopping malls, your futuristic shopping malls. And then things out in the wild, that's way out in the, what you call the sticks, or the outer wilds. It's more of like your cantina style Tatooine marketplaces, but you know, it opens the potential now. And I think this is Kimmy crafting right now. I'm in that Kimmy crafting phase, so listen up. Uh, the changing or the transformation potentially of these new locations such as Loreville. The interiors are going to come. The lower depths are going to come, of course, obviously. Chris talked about that. But they have a potential now with the crafting aspect and trading. If you're on an enterprise level, imagine having your wares and your goods being sold within the districts of where thrive and strive to be that citizen of 1.0. You may earn the right to be an exclusive vendor within the city. Hello, Chris. I'm talking to you. Kimmy here. You may have that potential because of your credibility, your star cred. I wanted to say street cred, but I'm trying to be cheeky and cool at the same time. But star cred, because you've acclimated yourself to being on an enterprise level with your wares and your consistency in crafting and your quality of work and production. Maybe you have an exclusive contract within the planetary interiors in the shopping, a proper shopping mall, and multiple vendors, right? You may have exclusive components within Microtech or Arcorp, and you're featured there for that month or so based on your reputation, right? So those incentives right there really and clearly could be great potential for the game. It would be the antithesis of a brand new merchantman, even though that's going to be a thing too, right? But to highlight your wares and get the advertisement due to being a high represented crafter of your products and have it showcased. And this is like, for example, Timmy's crafted something, right? Or just the wares itself, having that lucrative deal for a month or so. That could be very profitable. It's about that bottom line, baby. For the work that you've been doing in the game, reputation based. And that goes for the nefarious side, like places like Pyro, which comes to say, or what I would ask is, hey Chris, we have a Pyro. Are we getting someplace worse than Pyro? In regards to not just volatile as for characters and NPCs, but dangerous, such as very dangerous predatory type creatures. And there's ways that you can survive in that place. Kind of like Riddick. When you look at the movie Riddick and you had those creatures there that was very dangerous, but you gotta understand what goes on in that location. And you, as a criminal or being on the run, if you understand or know the lay of the land, you can find a way to use that to your advantage to hide from bounty hunting. And I think Chris talked about this quite a while ago, and he still desires and really wants bounty hunting to be a thing. And I think as we move beyond Nyx and we are introduced to Castra and eventually Terra, that would be a great planet or a system to kind of look at to say, what type of gameplay can we incorporate now that will support the bounty hunting aspect or gameplay, where you have not. I would say this would be a interesting concept. You have your mega corporations, but then you have your smaller corporations, right? So what about CIG? You have the Constantines, I believe, and you have the R-Corps that can actually take over a planet. What about the smaller corporations that there's multiples that work in conjunction with each other on one single planet? And so your jurisdictions and your dynamics change as you progress through the planet. So you're always constantly keeping your head on a swivel where, like for example, the expression dark side of the moon, it's a different operation. It's an area of contention on that planet because you have you literally have the symbol of the yin and yang. These are the smaller, sort of like the gangs, but you have the smaller corporations that are vying for control with each other. And Chris, you know this, man. I played your game Strike Commander. And what was it about, Chris? Tell the people. Strike Commander was a game based on the near future where corporations pretty much ran the show, but they were rivals. They were openly hostile to each other. It was like corporate wars. And you were a mercenary that worked for them and did their work. You were the right arm, you were their right hand man that did the dirty work for them. And so you can kind of see that within, you were probably able to see that on the planet with multiple corporations taking a stake and claim. There's no laws except for the ones that are beholden to the corporations that have sectors within the planet. I think that's a dynamic that has not probably been explored because if we see it, but it's isolated to the planet or that area. Imagine multiple corporations on that one planet, and as you traverse those different territories, you're either hailed or you're hailed with laser fire. But at the same time, I think this serves as the precipice for open PvP without the repercussions of, hey, this is potentially trolling. Yeah, and I'm certain of this, that there's going to be players who's going to break the narrative and still do enough to make it trolling and griefing. But with that said, it would be an interesting dynamic where, you know, as you were saying with base building and defense structures, that's another part or aspect of the corporations that will have territories. And that's those structures, those defensive towers that will target enemies. That's kind of a part of this. That comes with the territory of PvP. If you're within your jurisdiction or you're in good standings of that, you're not a rival of that corporation. That could come to your advantage. You could actually strategize with flying, bringing your enemies within range of those defense towers as you're fighting them. I think it's something to be said about PvP, but also incorporating NPCs as a support structure for the game. So it could very well be a thing of, with cargo running, moving fast enough, having enough defense structures to get within those parameters of the territory of that corporation, like data running or cargo running, and it's the adrenal rush, or data running with the Star Runner or the Drake Herald, sending information back and forth to those corporations, but you have to fly through enemy territory and you're getting fired upon. But you also have to get to a checkpoint that have defensive structures like towers that can help and save the day because you made it to that point, and you can get assistance by other NPCs. That would be interesting because you won't have to worry about NPCs being in the proper working state when the towers can kind of hold things pat until the server meshing can come in and keep sustained server FPS so that NPCs will function as we intended, or the concept was intended for. I think that's pretty good stuff. And I think in aspects of introducing the smaller corporations, and they're trying to get a foothold and basically earn a living. It's about that bottom line, baby. They're not the mega corporations. So it's a substructure. It's a structure. It's a hierarchy. You have your elite corporations, you have your smaller corporations, right? That they're vying for a place in the market and to grow up to be enterprise and doing whatever they can to be that. But then there's rivals, and I think that would be an interesting aspect to Star Citizen that brings even more depth to the gameplay feature. So I would love to see that, Chris. Making evasion and defense, flying defense as a gameplay feature, and then incorporating a gameplay structure of fast defensive ships, right? That run cargo. That's another layer or aspect or variant of that type of ship. Imagine a new Crusader ship that's based on fast cargo running in hostile locations, right? Or some that could go the different route, like a Drake that's just super armed to the teeth, that have carrier experiences. But then people will just get their Pegasus and all that other stuff and just run the gauntlet. But again, those towers should be comparable to take them out, right? To some extent. So it's not about the big ship wins each and every time. Those towers will be the X factor. Even incorporating the data runner ships or speak of this, you know the electronic warfare ships, incorporating where if they can sustain or have protection to a certain radius of those towers, disable those, scramble the codes of those towers to shut them down for maybe 90 seconds, right? Data warfare. Imagine that. Another layer for Star Citizen. Kimmy Crafton. It's possible. But I think it comes down to not biting off more than you can chew, but I think that's something they can put a feather in their cap for the future of Star Citizen, as far as why not? Because that's the beauty of this game, is that it's not just about exploration. It's about exploring all new types of gameplay that will make the history books for this game. I mean, right now, it's its own reality show, man. I think there's no doubt about it. It's what scares me is they finished the game and we missed the reality show aspect of Star Citizen, the drama, because we love the drama right now. It's some of the things that keep us going, because it's something to be said. It's something to see. It's something where they make, they get themselves out of the doghouse with the community. They figure things out. I love that. The winning aspects of Star Citizen, the problem solving aspects, the drama, and we all love feel good stories. We all love the aspects of triumph over adversity. I think that's one of the things that definitely keeps me focused into Star Citizen, and the speculation. You gotta love it. It's the speculation. It's the what ifs, and the worry and things of that nature. Of, oh, wait a minute, can I track that? Look, now I'm getting readings on this thing. That is cool, man. Getting readings on that one. But yeah, it's the aspects of overcoming and breaking through. CIG making breakthroughs. And it's also the community of, like, when they see things aren't right, the passion is going to overtake and say, "Hey, you're ruined. This is not right now, CIG. We got to fix this." You got to love it. That passion is real. It doesn't come out the way we all like it. Some of us may like, but but it's there. Thank goodness it's there. The passion is there, and people are going to speak out accordingly. But of course, there's going to be people behind the scenes who are more about press, pushing buttons and to see things escalate. That's obvious. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the pure passion. And I think at some point, CIG is going to get to a point where that doesn't affect them anymore. And I'm like, hallelujah, we're here. They just gotta just keep heads down and keep working, man, and let the player concurrency happen, and let it speak for itself, and the support from the community, let it speak for itself. I mean, that's the the good and bad of it. Where did I leave my Now it's like the rocks disappeared. Wait a minute, am I in the right place? Now I gotta get back in the. Oh, helmet scanning. That's another thing. I'm right now. This would be great if I had a specific helmet, industrial type helmet for mining. It would help me detect where rocks are. Right. Now, see what I got to do, because I don't have that type of helmet, and because everything is, there it is, I found it. But yeah, I think if I had an industrial mining helmet on, it would analyze the rocks, or it would point them out for me, right? Would that be great or what? And that's coming. That's coming. Same thing with your bounty hunter. You have a specific bounty hunter styled helmet. Infrared. Think about Predator, right? Or it pings without giving location. I don't know. Or aspects of who's who. Who's your mark? Who's the players in town as you approach? And it dials it up like the reputable, what's that old saying? Your reputation precedes you. So it rings up probably in one of the panels on the helmets, right? That's the aspects of bounty hunting. Oh, this is your mark, this boss. But yeah, he has his lieutenants, and it kind of flags their lieutenants, and you're like, oh, I don't want to pull a move off right now. I'm by myself. I'm just scouting or doing recon. Those aspects of bounty hunting, it's going to be interesting. I got to think about that one a bit, but it will be possible for me to think about that and kind of craft that gameplay out. Did I get them all? Let's see. Let me see. Mining facilities, Sal 5. I need some Hadanite too. Dude, I've been on line about over 2 hours now. It's Star Citizen. And this is why, I can do this. This is fine. A lot of us can do this, but for people like families or dads, is like, hey, for people that don't have a lot of time on their schedule, but they're like, hey, I got time on my schedule. Instancing is perfect. It serves two purposes. I think it's the prerequisite for your dynamic meshing, but it also gives people with limited time to get into the game and enjoy Star Citizen. We owe them that because they've pledged, they help support. Yeah, they deserve that. They're a fan of the game as well, but unfortunately they can't play it like a lot. Some of us can in the game. and that's real life. But at the same time, they respect and enjoy and love the game just as much as the person who says, "No, you got to play it this amount of hours, or you don't, or you're not going to play at all." I would say what's fair about it is that they get to play and they pledge the same amount, if not more, right? What about that? They pledge a lot and they put a lot and they don't really say too much. Whereas you have some people, they pledge $40. And it's not about a monetary thing, but I'm saying some people are more vocal than others, right? Facts. And they want more out of the game. That's fine. That's fair. But there's some people who won't say a thing and they pledge like crazy, and they don't have all aspects of, they don't have the full aspects that allow them to play the game. Like some of us who just go in and just go all in, right? But you don't hear from them. They're not going to complain, or they're not going to express, "Hey, I don't have time for that." They're just as happy as observing other players or streamers or content creators to play the game for them and talk about the game. And at some point they'll say, "Okay, I plan to do this at this point in time in my life, and I'll be able to play it. But in the meantime, I want that ship, I want that ship, I want that gameplay, I want those items." But also, it allows me to connect with people and speak with them about the game and learn about the game, even though I don't play it. Those aspects we got to consider. So if you give them the opportunity to say, "Hey, I can get in this for a couple of hours and really enjoy the game," I'm more apt to want to get more out of it or put more time into it. But if it's not possible, I had that as an option. I appreciate that, CIG. Thank you so much. That's the aspect of how I see it when it comes to the instancing, and it's not about taking advantage of it. But yeah, you're gonna have all these elements because there's so many people in the game for reasons that's their own, right? And it doesn't always align up with your philosophy. So hence why instancing is great, because it allows multiple avenues of enjoyment that is this universe, because it reflects people's individuality and their approach to things and what they see as value. Choice. And I think that's what makes Star Citizen special. But it's that dream that makes it polarizing at the same time. Because we want it and we got to have it yesterday. And Chris is like, "No, I'm not giving you any dates because you're going to give me hell. You're going to crap on me for giving you dates." I would say the best medium to that is just follow through, understanding that we're getting closer to 1.0. The features are going to be more complex. They're going to be more far-reaching. They're foundational in nature. Just stay the course. Just continue to stay the course. You're not going to please everybody, but stay the course. Continue to progress. That's what's important. Like I said, the map goes from 3.1 up to 4.83. A lot of progression. And more people than ever are coming in, whether it's what they see or what they're able to do. And also the fact that there's not a lot of games out there now. Matter of fact, it's less games. And especially the ones that kind of scratch the itch of sci-fi. It's funny, speaking of which, EVE Online is kind of doing FPS style gameplay. I just noticed that. I'm like, wait a minute, what? They're trying to get their Star Citizen on, man. Good for them. Good for them. But uh, I'm here, man. I'm here. And especially with them ramping up even more, base building is on its way. Holy smokes! I would say, please don't, CIG, please don't make with this. From a few years ago, one of the artists was doing the interiors for base building. It was something akin to a movie theater set concept art, right? What I asked for, what I would love to request is the manufacturer's style of how bases are built should be indicative or should be distinct to that particular manufacturer. So when you see it, or when you see multiple manufacturers, you're going to see MISC. There's going to be Consolidated. There's going to be RSI. That's uh, the big dot Kane of base building, right? He's like the grandfather of base building. But you're going to have those manufacturers. You're going to recognize, hey, that's an RSI base, uh, built base. That's a MISC built base, and on, right? I think more players will be part of that genre. I think it's an opportunity for you to represent your base. You definitely, Chris Roberts, you definitely got to do an origin uh, base building ship, a luxury style base. And with that said, it better come with a lot of defense shields and everything, because oh my gosh, oh my gosh, we better stay on Terra. Yeah, too funny. Yeah, I mean it's about the manufacturer's brand. I think you can go beyond. I love the concept from back in the day when they did the what is it? Was it Consolidated, Southland, AVG, Revel in York. I think we can take it to the next level with the advent of the new base building technology that's coming into the game. Come on, explode, explode. I think it popped. Yeah, I think it popped. Woo. Grab these few. I think it popped. Rock popping. Man, I need a cargo box for the. Don't tell me backpack is full. Oh my gosh. Let me empty out my backpack. Only a few. Oh no, that was not. I put him on the ship. Let me see. Nope. Holy smokes. A lot of rocks. Oh my gosh. Oh wow, the quality level is at 743. It's almost at the threshold of a high quality mineral. 743, that's pretty good. Yeah, I'm gonna unload these, grab the ones on the ground, and then basically rocks all over the place. It's funny, it looks like coral in the ocean. Speaking of which, oh man, I was so elated to hear them talk about underwater gameplay when they were in Taiwan. Our Citizen. I'm ready. I'm so ready for that. The next. Aspect of the game. And I think with the planetary tech, Genesis, I think that's going to be more of a reality. And matter of fact, they might even be incorporating that in its development with Genesis. That should be very possible. Time's going to tell, but yeah, they already expressed that they're going to do it. But no time soon. I mean, I don't know what that means. I hope it's not 10 years from now. I don't want to say 10 years from now. A couple of years. That would be awesome. So we should be well on to the, post 1.0 for sure. All right. Not bad. Oh man, my engine again. I'm not listening. That I would. Now what's? Oh. Oh shit! Oh my god, man! What is going on with my engines, man? Oh my god! I heard the ticking. I'm like, okay, what's going on? Components, man. Components. Oh, I got some damage. That's gonna cost. It's about that bottom line, baby. It's more than a scratch. More than a dent. I gotta take it to the shop for repairs. Come on, landing gear. Go to Arc L1. Hey, I gotta deliver it Lyria. Let me go to Arc L1 though. Let me get a pick up a box. Okay, here we go. And I gotta get repaired. Gotta get repairs, man. Yippers. Okay, here we go. Get a cargo box, put the rocks in. And then take it back to the station and just drop the whole cargo box in. Maybe it'll accept it and then bring the cargo box back up, possibly. Or I'll just put them on the platform and then just pull them out, transfer them out. Let's see. Get some repairs going, shall we? Landing. Not too bad. 1.4K in repairs. It wasn't too bad. I can live with that. It's about that bottom line, baby.
100%.
The 1.1 in repairs. Okay, it's fixed. I see it. Even discoloration is gone. It was red. Oh, I gotta turn the engines off. Turn off the engines. Oh, 7 Blackwater, go. Oh, 7. How are you, sir? Alright, there we
Systems
go.
off.
Damn, I don't have Hadanite. That's the only thing I don't have Hadanite. I wonder if I can buy some Hadanite. I probably could buy 25 pieces of Hadanite. Let's see. Get this mission done. Let's make it happen, Captain. Go to the refinery. See, probably work. See if they got some Hadanite.
Today's scheduled waste disposal has been postponed until further notice.
Da, 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 da. Mean to tell me I have to go to a container. There we go, container. Oh, there we go. Hope that fits in the ship. Oh gosh. I hope it fits. All right, so pull it up in the freight elevator. You know what? I kind of think the progression for the new hangars, maybe have one kiosk like this, right? But you have this bay, but you have a bay. Maybe expand all of this that you can do freight and, cargo as well as the small vehicles as well. Make this wide, just almost take more space here and make this area right here space for not just cargo. You have your cargo grid aspect, but also 2 or 3 points for multiple small ships, parasite ships. And then you can actually, whether they're vehicles or parasite ships, then you can move them over to the larger ship landing pad. That would be really, really cool. And I think a dedicated medical bay area that would support tier 1 bed at least. So it doesn't take anything really from the Apollo or the Galaxy or definitely the Endeavor, no. Yo. Oh boy. I hope it will fit. Oh my gosh, man. I'm afraid it's not gonna fit into the door. Oh boy. Oh, we're about to find out. Open ladder. Okay, that's a good option. Damn it. Just a little wider, CIG. Damn. Damn. Oh, that sucks, man. That freaking sucks. Damn. Maybe the Mark II version will have a wider door. Nope. Nope. Man. I'm gonna have to do it old school, man. Yikes. I'm not gonna deliver it yet. I'm gonna save it. And I can continue it tomorrow. But, oh man, hold on, hold the hell up. This is what I'm gonna do. Oh gosh, let me see. These on the ground. Oh, this is about to get crazy. Oh man. Hold on. Can- Let me call up. The hell am I? I can load these up and not have them on the, just get another ship, basically. I wonder if I can just, it'd be cool just to do this and just drop them in. It's not gonna work like that. I have to, what does that say? Have to pile them up in one location. Now I just gotta open the door. Clear the door. Okay, there we go. Open ladder. There we go. And if the door was a little wider, it'd be perfect to put a box there. Let me see if I can move these loot-wise. I can loot. Yeah, it's gonna be faster. Work smarter, not harder. Watch my capacity as well. And I can go ahead and procure the mission again. As long as I have the resources, I can always drum up the mission. That way, I don't, add these minerals to the mission and I don't have the Hadanite sign off. And then I'm stuck from square one again. No, it's better to save the materials. Is there a item where you can right click and say move all to backpack or as many as possible? And send max to backpack. And that'd be a thing as a feature. progression of inventory management. That's going to be huge with Star Citizen, I think. Them graduating this process to the next level, especially with volume. And as these missions and reputation statuses ramp up, you need to be able to manage the inventory to scale. I'm at 99. Oh, I see the capacity, 161K, 161K. That's pretty cool. It's a 99%. I don't see it changing. 161. Let me just probably tell me in a way I need to go ahead and dump this. Okay. Now I go into a loop screen. Open, says me. Let me see, let me try a loop. Oh my God, something tells me this might, I may fill this thing up, man. I may have to get another box. Oh my gosh. Left shift, let's see, what's left shift? What did it do? What did it do? Uh-oh, let me see. Did it work? Oh crap. Hold on. Open. It didn't work because I did loop. Damn it. Here we go. Some of it worked. %. That's good. It looks like it's gonna hold all the rocks. Holy smokes. Whoa. If I organize it like this. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Oh damn, I'm not done. Holy smokes. I am not done. Oh my God. Whoa. There we go. Uh-oh, wait a minute. There we go. Had to be proximity to the box. Patsy's at 10%. Not too bad. All right. Holy smokes. Put more work on myself. I want to learn. Hold on. Clear the door. There we go. Dino threat. You gotta be kidding me. Open ladder. Okay, go back to this loop. Wow. Moving rocks, man. Moving these freaking rocks. Whew. Gee. Jesus. Oh, damn. And drag and drop, drag and drop. Holy smokes. Uh-oh. What was that about? Well, I'm at 99% already. Okay, let's see. And the rest, I think I can. Oh, here we go. Getting there. Oh my gosh, I'm getting there. Almost. Dedication, dedication. Clean. Now to loot it. Oh shoot. No, 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 no. Oh crap. I need that. Load this stuff. %14 full. Okay. Like I'm gonna make it. Oh, I'm gonna make it. Here we go. Here we go. I'm getting the gist of it now. I feel like I'm playing Tetris. Why? Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. All right. Oh God. Oh no. Excellent. Excellent. Oh, wait a minute. I can. Yeah, there we go. Hit that button. There we go. Oops. Beat those. Beat that. There we go. This button, filter. All right. Organize. Filter. All right. Nope. Don't want to do that. Space is very cold. Everything. I think it is. And filter. Only 29%. Oh, that's not all of them. Not all. Oh. It's about that bottom line, baby. Okay, let's move it Move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. It's about that bottom line, baby. All right. Benra, '07, sir. What's up, man? Oh, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Okay. Do a systems check. Okay, everything's good. All right. Remember, I did the Xeno test, Siege of Orson. Their system still works that they're going to do, but I think they have the metrics they need to move forward to the next stage of the patch development. I think it was mainly just a placeholder for some things further down the line. That specifically server meshing is going to happen. But I think with the Siege of Orson, I think they're just lining things up, and I think the next couple of patches, it's almost also they don't want to give everything away because it's going to be totally different. But it's kind of the setting, the setup. It's the premises. You're familiar, right? But I think once you get into the initial stage beyond that dress rehearsal, it's gonna be pretty different. But I think you're gonna enjoy it. I'm gonna call it, but I want to let you know I'll be on. I'm gonna try to get back as early as possible tomorrow, but I definitely want to meet up with you all in the evening, tomorrow evening, and we can do, hey, blueprint hunting, whether it's mining mission givers and getting blueprints, or just doing some FPS, just sharpen up our skills because the heavies are coming. So I'll look for you guys tomorrow, and I'll be up. I'll be ready. Lock and load. Let's go, guys. Let's get the band back together. '07s. But yeah, I'm gonna call it. I'm gonna get up fairly early, and I got some things to do. But I want to get back with you all in the evening and see what we can get into. Get some shenanigans going. Blueprint hunting, of course. Get some UEC because I am not doing so well. Look at that, 1.3. Look at that. No, I got to do better than that. It's about that bottom line, baby. And so, as you all know, 4.9 is next week. So this is the dress rehearsal. Let's sharpen our skills, gentlemen. With that said, great seeing you guys. Miss you all. Good to be back. And let's get this thing going, man. I'm I'm gonna say goodnight to that mining mission because I have the materials I need. I'm gonna pick back up on that. Let's go, guys. Shall we? 0 to the 7. I'll see you all in a bit. And I'll be back. I'll see you soon. Tomorrow evening. As early as I can get back. Oh, 07. Yes, for sure, Scavenger, aka Scavenger 676. Contraband. Oh, there you go. I saw that. I saw that. I saw that. Oh yeah, we need that in Star Citizen. I send it. Yeah, cigar smoking after mission success. We need cigar smoking, Chris. Let's go. Always a pleasure, guys. Miss you all. Let's go. We're gonna go for it tomorrow, guys. I'm gonna look for you guys. Come on, let's go. 07. Good seeing you guys, man. Oh my God, great seeing you guys. Get ready, man. Star Citizen is about to change a lot. Let's get ready. That sounds like a bunch of rigmarole. It's about that bottom line, baby. Let's make it happen, Captain. See you all tomorrow. 07.